Hello, hello, and we are back with another FTL run. I'm going to do Mantis B today as we roll at the end of the last video. Here are our stats. So, Mantis B is a ship that is pretty strong once it gets going, but it is quite vulnerable to early game, the sudden catastrophe. The reasons for this, primarily, it's the fact that you've got two crew. They're both Mantises. If you played this game, you'll know Mantises are very bad at repairing. They have half repair speed. If you were to take damage on various systems, in particular this oxygen system down there, and if you get, say, a fire or a breach or something like that down there, it can be very, very difficult for your terrible repair Mantises to actually deal with that problem. Now, to get around this, in part, you're the only ship in the game that starts with the shields upgraded, which is great, because usually you want to take that as your first 50 scrap anyway. Mantis B doesn't have to do that. And you also have a defensive drone to block missiles coming in, which seems quite good. It's not really that great, though, because unfortunately, there is a bug in FTL. The defensive drone can't target missiles rather, that are coming in. There's a certain part of the screen. Here, I'll start to actually show. There's a certain part of the screen off on the right-hand side where if the missile is on that side, the defensive drone isn't intelligent enough to target it. And the line on Mantis B, I think, ends about here, which, unfortunately, that covers both your shield room and your defensive drone room. If you could, like, swap these with these two rooms over there, you'd be a lot safer. But unfortunately, your shield room and your drone control room are in the line of fire where the defensive drone just doesn't block it. And that creates some problems because if a missile comes in and hits your drone control room on the first shot, if it's an Artemis missile, it'll take the drone down. Your terrible repair Mantises won't be able to fix it, especially if you've sent them over to the other ship, for example. Or if they hit shields, you'll have a really hard time fixing them and just preventing their normal weapons from damaging you. There's quite a few bad things that can happen there. Another problem with this ship early on is that you have level 1 engines. You're terrible at repairs, as we've already mentioned, and you also don't have any weapons of any kind, which can make it a little bit difficult. If you fight an enemy that has a Zoltan shield and good weapons, you're in big trouble. I have lost runs on this because, say, an early enemy has Zoltan shield, flak, and a heavy laser. And I mean, that's bad with any ship, but I think Mantis B, it's worse than literally any other ship in this game to see. Because if it hits an important system, you're not getting it fixed anytime soon, you're not escaping. Especially if they, like, manage to hit your piloting or your engines, you can't even charge the FTL. You can't get through the Zoltan shield at all. It's not like it's merely slow, you cannot do it. So, with this ship, you've got a 4-tile teleporter and you already have 2 Mantises, so if you can get more crew, this ship can become very, very strong. It is a little bit limited by the fact that it only has 3 weapon slots, and also you can't get both hacking and cloaking. You get one or the other, but not both. Typically, I go for hacking on this because it's a very, very strong boarding support, but I can see going for cloaking with it as well, and much the same as on Mantis B. But Mantis B has 4 weapon slots and starts with an advanced flak, so it's significantly stronger than this ship, and it has an NG for dealing with repairs. So, you've got some strong things. Usually on this ship, the first things you want to do, you want to upgrade your engines to level 3. That'll help you escape if you get a bad battle. And you also just want to get any other crew type that's not a Mantis. Another way that you can potentially be safer is to switch to a clone bay as soon as possible, because then if you get a fire down in oxygen, you can just throw waves of clones at it until you eventually put it out and fix it. And it also helps you deal with auto scouts. You do start with a boarding drone, which you can use to kill auto scouts, although it's not fast and you can't control where this thing lands, which is not ideal. This sector is kind of divided into top and bottom. The first joining point is sort of this nebula jump. I think the top side seems to have more beacons on it, especially it has more beacons that I haven't already seen. I wouldn't mind an early store on this ship, because frankly, if you go to a store on the first jump and sell the Mantis pheromones, you can use that to get your engines up, and that makes you safe from one of the disaster scenarios that could happen. But we don't have that option here. So I think the way to go is to jump north and then go south through this nebula eventually. We could go this way and see these two beacons, but then we're going to miss all of this stuff up here, and we're mathematically more likely to see something good if we go north. Let me just check. That's recording, yep. Okay, well there's nothing there. Distress option there. Our distress options aren't great. We have a few of them. The teleporter gives us some, I think. Mantis are basically useless at it, and we don't have any weapons. Let me just check one moment. Yeah, distress options can often give crew, so it isn't bad to go to one of these. I want to go here first. It doesn't show me anything that I haven't already seen. Let's go to the distress beacon. Well, it's a fight. Fortunately, this is a very safe fight. Oh, I should have moved my other Mantis over into... I'm going to do this now and actually save them. This is a little bit dangerous. I'm trying to decide whether or not it's worth using a boarding... Because I could board over there and probably win. They don't have a medical unit. I think I'm safe to just board and not use... What I'll do, I might run them around and then warp back. I don't want to just stay here and fight and then have one of my Mantises die. But I have Mantis pheromones, and I've got a bit of 2-on-1 time there, so let's just do this. Let's run them around. I might do this a couple times to get their hit points down really, really low. Whee! And now that we've got our teleporter back, let's batter on them until they're at about 50 health. Yeah, our guys are actually losing this, but we're not going to lose this time. So these are the kind of fights you want to see, albeit you would generally prefer your opponents to not be too Mantis right off the top. But a fight like this, you know, an enemy that you can board and kill the crew and that doesn't have weapons that can hurt you, that's really, really great to see as your first Mantis B fight. I'm probably going to just immediately get my engines up, but I want to see if there's a store first. There is. We have a few jumps to go to. I think I'm going to just take the engines up anyway. Like, we'd like crew. We wouldn't mind switching over to a clone bay, but we have Mantis pheromones. We also wouldn't mind a weapon that allows us to just get some low power cheap thing that allows us to get through Zoltan shields, like an ion blast or something like that. Since we spotted the store, I'm going to take all 3 of these jumps and go there. I can kind of compromise at level 2 engines just in case of a disaster. Investigate, cool, we get free stuff. One problem with this ship as well, we now have 3 missiles. You start with 0, which is quite annoying because a boarding ship, especially one that only has 3 weapon slots, could really benefit from having a good missile. And unfortunately, you don't start with any, so even if you manage to acquire a missile, you need to also acquire ammo. We had that event 2 jumps in a row. We didn't get the good option that time. Go here, and then the store. I don't like this fight very much. This fight is quite dangerous because there's a solar flare going off. Our guys could get trapped. Like, if there were only 2 of them over there, or if they didn't have door controls, I could board and kite them. But because they have door controls, I can't kite. I also can't send a boarding drone over to help me, because they've got missiles. I might actually need to run them out of missiles, which is very annoying, and it may mean that we get hit by solar flares. Of course, there's also the risk that a solar flare hits my oxygen, and if that happens when we're on the other ship, we could just die. So I think I need to run them out of missiles, even though... Yeah, there's the blind spot right there. So we've taken a point of damage because of that. I preemptively vented this room because if the missile had hit it instead of fire... Wow, we've got hit twice already. It's actually probably more important here for me to fix the drones, because if they take another hit, my defensive drone goes down altogether. Not that it's done anything useful so far, apart from demonstrating my point. And now we have a fire and oxygen. Wow, this fight is just being completely awful. I need to go and fight that right now. Go and fight that right now. Yeah, you can see my mantises just failed, despite there being 2 of them in there the entire time. And you can think about, like, if this went out, if this happened while we were over on the enemy ship, and we had to come back at low health. Oh great, we just took a damage on drones, and now our drones are down, so we're gonna get hit with missiles repeatedly. But I need to fix the oxygen right now. I mean, we had to open the vents in the drone room just to stop the drones from burning out completely. And they just hit my oxygen again. I think I might actually die in this battle. Like, this ship shouldn't be dangerous at all. If they take my shields all the way down, by the way, this fire drone is going to just kill me. Where's that set fires? The one good thing is that we now need to get my doors back as well. They're out of missiles, at least. So that's a positive thing. We now need to go get drone controls. We now need to go get doors, so that any future fires we can vent. We are very, very concerned about our shields. There's a pretty good odds that I should have just run from this battle. But on the other hand, given that we got hit on shields and drones right away, we wouldn't even really have been able to do that. I'd like to get my drone control back, because I want to send a boarding drone over there. I think it's fine to just do this, and if we vent that, any fires that get set in that room should go out before they burn the shields out. I don't know what is on fire. I don't like this. Because I don't have sensors right now. Like, if I can fix that, I can get a boarding drone over there and then board at 3v1, and that should be enough for me to win. Just vent that. We can fix it afterwards. There's a possibility, of course, this enemy ship could just die to solar flares. I'm gonna send the boarding drone over now, even if I lose one. Oh cool, it landed in their shields. They're taking damage from fire, and our boarding drone isn't. I'm actually quite concerned about boarding this ship now. I wonder how many of them there are left. Because like a solar flare, I mean, admittedly, their hull isn't so low. They only have one. Their people must be very, very low on health. I'm boarding now. They're not, and my boarding drone is actually moving on elsewhere anyway. I'm worried about a solar flare going off and blowing their ship up, but it's not going to do 6 points of damage to them, and we can kill them before. Now that they're all so low on health, they won't bother fighting this fire. We can kill them in time. Okay, so we've got an NG now. That's a huge, huge deal. We have somebody who knows how to repair. Now we just need to make sure our Mantises don't die to fires while being stuck on the enemy ship, which they won't. And we don't need to full repair before jumping away from this, because we know our next jump is going to be a storm. Which is very, very positive, because I don't want to stick around and take even more solar flares. We took 10 damage in that fight. That's despite the fact that we have a defensive drone and should have been able to deal with all of the missiles being fired at us. But, right, let's go and fix everything while we decide how we want to spend our scrap. Despite the fact, you might think that we would just leave the NG on the ship to help us, but I will often actually just board with the NG, because just having more bodies makes boarding good. I'd like to get my engines up one more. That would protect us from the other main form of disaster that could occur. I don't know that there's anything at this store that we can get. I'd love to be able to get hacking, but we can't. The weapons are either too expensive or they don't help us. They're mostly actually both. The augments are no good. Like, the backup DNA bank would be nice if we had a Klonde, but we don't. We can't get one. I think here we're going to just repair. Now, should I sell the Mantis pheromones, or should I just... I'm gonna keep the Mantis pheromones for now, because I can get my engines up, like, right now anyway. And, the Mantis pheromones are quite useful for boarding. So I'm just gonna keep them for the moment, even though it's not ideal. I would rather be able to sell those and get something decent. We've only made 34 scrap this sector as well. That's quite terrible. We don't actually have that much time left. Let's investigate. We might get another NG from this. So we're getting a lot of crew. I wish we were getting... After the one NG, I would rather get, you know, more crew who know how to fight. But whatever. We can just overwhelm the enemy with sheer numbers, even if they are just NGs. And we still have our two Mantis as well. I'd really like to get a rock for blue options and to help fight. Go through this nebula and then we will bounce around. Okay, this is a good event. We have lots of crew who are good at fighting, and we get scrap for it, so... We'll go up there, the NGs can fight in the med bag. Oh, you're gonna go up there. Well, that's fine, because that gives the combat XP to my Mantises, which I would prefer anyway. So all we really want is something that will help us get around. Like, we can kill auto ships with the boarding drone, although it's not fast. and we'd like something more reliable. And we can beat just about any ship that we need to board. We don't have anything to disable medbays right now. Although, with 4 boarders, we could use distraction tactics as long as they don't have upgraded doors. I'd like some sort of bomb weapon, ideally, or hacking. And we just want something that allows us to get through zone shields. Okay, this is a very good fight. I won't bother boarding with my NGs. They can try to get some dodges. I'm not going to grind dodges against this ship because they're too slow. But we will very easily win this 2v1. The ship starts with a lot of power, by the way, because it's designed to allow you to power your defensive stuff. And that can be useful in fights where you don't actually have to do that much. Could upgrade our teleporter to allow us to board auto scouts, but I don't feel like we would generally want to do that, even so. And I'm not a big fan of upgrading the teleporter early when you have a 4-tile teleporter, because generally speaking, 4 is enough to win most crude fights in the game. Fights with crew, I should say. Makes it sound like I'm saying crude with a U rather than the word I'm actually saying. Okay, we have one more jump here. We're going to take distress over unmarked. Especially now that we have NGs, we have more blue options. We have the rare blue option for giant alien spiders. This doesn't give us very much, but it's better than risking losing. I think it gives a fairly low scrap reward. So yeah, we're going to launch a boarding drone into the station to destroy the giant alien spider. You launch the drone and it crashes through their hull, leaving a huge breach. You watch as the drone tears through the creatures while debris and dead bodies fly out of the breach. The owners of the station are less than effusive when they thank you and offer only a meager payment. Maybe it's a good time to leave. I think that's quite harsh, considering we've just left a hull breach. Like, our NGs could fix your hull breach, man. One hull breach is not that difficult to deal with, but whatever. Maybe they wanted to recover the dead bodies of their colleagues for family or some such nonsense, I don't know. We have made precisely 100 scrap in this sector, but more importantly, we have got 2 NGs and we are, much more safe and survivable. We also could get scrap at this jump. I don't think this is worth it now that if we had got this before getting a couple of NGs, it would be worth doing. But you tend to get crew pretty quickly with a boarding ship. And spending 31 scrap on a rock is, it's good, but it's a lot early on. I would rather go Pirate than Rebel. Pirate is likely to have slaver events where we can get more crew. Rebel is likely to have auto scouts, which will take ages and not give us more crew. We're almost certainly going to this beacon anyway, this sector because it's the only one that's not an uncharted nebula. We might skip it if it's an abandoned, but that wouldn't change whether we went up or down. Let's look around and start murdering pirates. This isn't really what we wanted. Our weapons are going to get smashed here. I don't think we have. Maybe we can delay them long enough that the room will vent. Yep. Of course, our engines are going to have much the same problem. They're level. There's 4 of them in there, and they only need to do 1 point of damage. Just vent this whole side of the ship. Yeah, come on in and fight me in the medbay. That's completely fine. Let them come through. Feed the kills to my Mantis. And let the O2 refill. to distress and hope that this time we get the... gonna actually keep you indoors. My other systems are not like weapons doesn't do anything. I can quickly get these guys to the teleporter. It gives me protection if I get boarded. Yeah, we'll do that. Go to distress. Yeah, we'll give them 3 fuel. Okay, we got a map upgrade. That's a lot of fights, and it also shows us where the stores are. I'd like to hit both of these stores, because I'd like to have something that breaks Zoltan shields by the end of this sector. And 2 stores gives us twice as much chance to get something. So I think we want to go here, here. Okay, maybe we're going to go here, here, here. I do not want to go into a pulsar with this ship, since you have no way to disable weapons, and the pulsar will take your shields down. Yeah, here, 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 there. Store, up through the nebula. We might be able to do like this in that other store. This is a very good event to see. We are most definitely not surrendering our crew to slavers, especially not slavers that can't hurt us and have 2 NGs on their ship. I mean, we have 2 NGs on our ship too, but we also have 2 Mantises on our ship, so we kind of get the advantage. You guys help us fight for a little bit, and then we're going to run you out so the Mantises get combat skill. Yeah, one NG is good to get. 2 is I mean, 1 NG is great to get. 2 NG are decent. 3 is starting to get a little bit over the top. I would like to get crew who actually know how to fight. Well, NG3, you go over to shields. I mean, if we can get 2 more, we could maybe get 1 more NG and then 2 more Mantis and just have, you know, perfect balance. But right now, that's not happening. Okay, so this ship is quite annoying. It can hurt us, and it has a med bay, and it has 3 crew. I think the way to do this, we want to board with 4 people. If we lose an NG, I don't care that much, to be honest. We could also send a boarding drone over, just to make it faster, provide more distraction. Like, we'd like to distract them in shields and then run 2 people in to break the medbay. The only problem is, because they have 3 crew, 1 of them, and there are no rooms that they can fit all 3 of them in. So I think we're going to use a boarding drone just to make this a little bit more secure, since if they had weapons that couldn't hurt us, I'd probably do it with just distraction tactics, but they can hurt us. Okay, good, you landed in shields. So they'll get probably 2 people over there, and then let's warp you into there. We want the 2 NGs in that room, so that... Oh, no. We want the 2 NGs in weapons, so that any crew that run in there to fight them and stop them damaging the system don't take very much damage. Yeah, so they'll be fighting for a while, and our Mantises can smash the medbay. There we go. Now you can swap out. My NGs might as well get combat XP smashing systems. Nice. So, it doesn't really give us a tool for getting through Zoltan shields because we would have to use 3 of them each time. We'll run through too quickly with that. But it gives us a way to deal with enemy medbays, and that's fantastic. Small bomb is an absolutely excellent boarding support weapon. It's It's not as good as a Breach Bomb 2, although in this case you could argue that it's better because I would need to upgrade my weapons to use a Breach Bomb 2. Okay, there, and then store. We might not be able to get 2, but with that drop we may not need 2 stores anyway. No, we're not paying this stupid toll. We're going to go over and murder you instead. How's that sound? I ran the wrong 2 NGs over, but whatever. I should have left my pilot and run my shields guy there. So yeah, this is how things go when you're getting good fights on Mantis B. You just easily roll over the enemy, get extra scrap, get drops, get more crew. This asteroid field is a little scary, but I think we can handle it. Hopefully it's not like... The worst thing it could be would be like, probably a Zoltan shield ship ironically wouldn't be too bad because the asteroids would get through it. Something like an auto scout could be bad, but we could small bomb any weapons that they have, so let's fight it. Oh yeah, we should actually move. Okay, this is quite bad because they've got double heavy laser. That's not ideal. We're gonna board them immediately, but we do want to also bomb those weapons. Although they have a Mantis, we can fight them 4v3 in this room there, and we'll be able to overwhelm them with numbers. We just don't want these, because these heavy lasers will be able to damage us due to the asteroids. And indeed, they did just that. Here, you go help my weapon charge for just a moment. There we go. No, we don't need to fire extra ones. Their system repair drone will fix that stuff eventually, but it won't do it quickly. So, we were okay there. You go help with the fire, or you two go heal. Fire was actually already out by the time you got down there. I'm going to move my shields guy into weapons, because getting a faster small bomb could be quite useful in some circumstances. Store. Okay. Well, the only particularly useful thing here is hacking. The backup battery we might get as well. We're definitely not buying crew after all the drops we've had. I mean, we could use something like a beam drone or a combat drone to help us deal with Zoltan shields. The problem is we would have to get rid of the boarding drone if we did that, because we don't have enough drone slots, and the defensive drone is more generally useful. And the problem with doing that is that's just swapping one problem for another. We're swapping the ability to kill auto ships for the ability... Well, we're losing the ability to kill auto ships. You could use drones and bombs to kill auto scouts, but that's a very slow method, and it would potentially, especially since we're going to be fighting things with multiple shields soon, I don't feel like that's worth it. I think we're going to just take these, keep what we've got at the moment, and keep going. The backup battery is not strictly necessary right now because we already have enough power, but it's good to still have it. And we've got more encounters coming up anyway. I don't know that we're going to hit this storm. I think we're going to run out of jumps, but we'll see. Okay, we've got an auto scout immediately. So we need to send a boarding drone over, and we need to hope it lands in the right place. Okay. Now, it is a problem that this thing is running away, but if it had landed in piloting, it basically what would happen, it would breach the room. It would damage the piloting. Because of the breach, the auto scout could never repair it, and thus we could never actually kill this ship. We do still need to stop it running away, but we can use a bomb or two to do that. And we'll be grinding dodges in this fight because we don't have any other options. I wish this had landed in engines instead. I mean, it will move into engines and smash those, and as long as one of engines or piloting is smashed, this thing can't charge its FTL. But if it had landed in engines, it would have breached that room, and then they would never be able to fix it. We might not have even needed to use a bomb if it had done that. Our next upgrade probably should actually be getting the... I'm going to give this a moment, because I don't know how many levels. Okay, it's only level 1 engines. I want to use as few bombs in this as possible, but I think we're going to need to use more than one. I'm going to wait until their shields have repaired once, because that will happen before... Oh no, no, it won't. Of course it won't, because... What am I talking about? The shields are breached. Okay, I'll wait like 15 seconds, and then I want to bomb piloting while the engines are still damaged. Just because then they're guaranteed not to miss. But I don't want to do it too soon. Do it now. That was pretty good timing. Yeah, unfortunately we're going to need to do this a few times. I'm not sure whether we'll need to do it every single time they repair the hull. I hope not. Every single time they repair the hull, every single time they repair the engines. Next time I might let them repair the engines and see whether or not... Yeah, we'll let them repair the engines and see whether or not my boarding drone can knock it offline before they actually get fully charged up. Which is, it's only level 1, it should be able to do. Yeah. I'm going to try doing this with maybe 2 more bombs. It might take 3. How many dodges have we managed to get? Quite a few. I'm going to use one in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that wasn't bad. I could use a timer. I think it takes about 40 seconds for an auto scout to repair, get 1 point of repair on a damage system. I don't remember the exact timings. Of course, I could also use hacking to delay things, but hacking only buys, you know, a couple seconds of delay, whereas a bomb can take it out and stop them from charging it at all. We're going to try again here and see whether or not the boarding drone can just take it out completely before they get the FTL charged up. But we set fire, which is completely useless. This is very, very frustrating. So I think I'm going to need to use like 3 more bombs. And I don't know what we can do about that, because if we don't, they're going to just escape. But frankly, this probably isn't even worth the missile expenditure. As soon as they fix the piloting, I'm going to just do it again. I don't know how they fixed that first. That really threw me off. I was expecting them to fix fix the piloting first, and then the engine. They must have level. Do they have level 2? They can't have level 2 piloting because it would go from from red to yellow. But it didn't. Because like if they fixed the piloting first, I would know that they were about to fix. Considering this took damage before, or the piloting took damage before engines, they should not repair piloting until after engines are repaired. Or they should repair piloting first and then engines second. Yeah, like that. And we'll just take that down. That should get fixed in a moment. I don't really understand what's happening here, but whatever. This will work. It's just we've had to spend, what, 7 bombs on this fight? And one big problem with this ship, of course, you might normally hope to get bombs from surrender offers, but when you're playing a boarding ship, you don't get very many surrender offers, because you're usually, the ships that can surrender, you're usually killing their crew, not doing much hull damage to them. Especially since we have no method of dealing hull damage other than smashing systems of boarders. Well, there we go, but this was a very, very expensive and very tedious fight. You know, if this ship hadn't been attempting to run away from the start, we wouldn't have needed to use any bombs at all. We could have just used the boarding drone. I guess what this means is that enemies that have crew at the moment will just be, if they have crew and they have med bays, we're just going to be using the hacking to deal with it because we have way more hacking drones than we do missiles. Yay, we got 1 missile back, but yeah, we spent like 7 of them there to make 9 scrap. It's not a very good trade. I don't think we can hit this other store, and I don't think there's much point trying because we don't have any scrap. So let's just keep hitting as many jumps as possible. Go here, here. I don't know if we can hit both of these. We'll find out. I think we can't. Okay, this ship is much better. We don't know what crew they have, but whatever. We have 4 and they don't, so. And they have no medical units. Warp. They should have 3. Yeah, they got 3 humans. Rebel ships are very predictable like that. Easy victory. This nebula. This is probably empty. Yeah, it is. How many jumps do we have? We have not quite 2 jumps. We're very close, but we are short. I'm going to go to the... Since we can only go to 1 more jump anyway, I'd rather go to the fight that doesn't have a hazard than one that does. Cool, we get a slaver. This is going to be a very easy slaver to kill. And now that we have NGs on our ship, I'm going to actually train against this enemy because we'll kill this human. They now won't board me again. They'll fire these two weapons at me, and we'll just sit here and get skill for our engines and pilot guys. And I will see you back in a little bit. And we're back. That didn't take very long because we already had a bunch of dodges from fighting that stupid auto scout. This is the kind of ship you could actually quite easily crew kill even without teleporting. The only difference is we would have needed to let the first crew member jump back with under 15 health. And then you kill the second one, and then we could have killed the first one. If you had any kind of lasers switch, if you're, or any kind of direct damage even, which if you're not playing a boarding ship, you have that. Unless maybe you're playing NGA or Zoltan C, I guess. But, yeah, you would have just needed to then kill the original boarder with a single shot landing on them. To the exit, is quite close of us being able to have gone to the store, but we couldn't do it. Yeah, look, we're caught by just a little bit if we do that. Mantis controlled is quite nice for Sector 3. We can go Mantis to Mantis. Maybe we can get some more. Try Distress. Also sees quite a lot. Give them the fuel. Okay, well, I mean, that two fuel was a bit risky to give up, but we've got a very, very good reward for it. Well, we'd like to upgrade immediately, but first let's go to the store, because if nothing else, we'd like to buy that fuel back. And there's another one here. Well, goodbye Mantis Pheromones. Bye Flak. Are we going to keep the boarding drone just to deal with auto scouts until we can get our weapons up? If we sell it now, we might just be able to do it. Yeah, let's just do it. One Flak is not great at dealing with auto scouts, but we can make it work, and, you know, like, at this point, we're just going to be, especially if we could hack shields or something, we're going to just take weapons to 4 now and have double Flaks. We'll have the small bomb for situations where we're boarding, which will probably be most of them. And for the handful of situations where we're not boarding, we'll have double Flak. Let's hack the weapons here just to minimize damage. Actually gonna let them board me with one of their crews so that we can... We'll kill their NG over there. Like, our 3 NGs can deal with 1 Mantis. I should have been charging my flag the whole time before. Oh yeah, actually... No, I'll smash their clone bay first. But yeah, if I hack there, that delays things. Get these 2 in here. Maybe we can break a weapon or 2. But we definitely can, because we'll just kill the NG when they come in. Okay, cool. Burst Laser 2 is down, so we take 1 hit, but whatever, that's all we take. My 2 NGs here are enough to beat 1 Mantis. Nope, stop firing with flak. What are you doing? Fix that. Cool. Max combat skill out of that. And that's both of them. We don't have quite enough to get weapons up, but still, these first 2 jumps have been... You know, you can't get better than getting, you know, a flak a jump. It's disappointing we didn't get a flak there. That breaks the streak. Just vent up here. Hold them off for a moment. It's a little bit annoying to vent this area because we have to vent through the med bay, but I think it's fine. Get you down into doors. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna take damage here because I did something very, very dumb. I didn't open all of my internal doors. Yeah, we took a point of damage there that was completely unnecessary. You get in there. They've been vented enough now that we should win this. Swap you two around. You get out of there. Actually, I don't need to feed combat kills to my Mantis anymore. They already have maximum. So I guess I should feed combat kills to Angies instead. That feels a little bit weird, but while I'm still using 2 Angies for boarding, I guess that's the way to go. We made no scrap. Exit to this also really sucks. The only way there is here, and that's a big, huge... We're going to have to go to the exit and maybe hit a few jumps afterwards. None of these others lead over. This is literally the only jump that leads there. Then that they surrender. Put a defensive drone up to deal with the missile. And we just board. And as long as the defensive drone doesn't do any derping, we should get out of this without taking any damage. I suppose it could also get shot down by the chain laser, I suppose. Very, very good. Now we have another Mantis. So we can leave the 2 NGs who we have completely trained on our ship. And everyone else can board. Well, yeah, that actually will be everyone else. So let's see. I'll just say Felicity in there. I'll see if I can get a 4th non-boarding crew to use for shields. Let's also do this. Get buffer. Also gets me near to being able to use double flak. Once we can use the double flak, Zoltan shields are not a problem at all. They just melt before that. So this is going to be an annoying fight, but we can do it. Especially since we can bomb shields. I want to hack weapons because I don't want this charge ion to completely take my shields down in an asteroid field. I was tempted to flash my shields there, but I was worried about the asteroids. Hack now. Can actually bomb the weapons because it's more reliable and see if the flak. Yep, flak actually did what I wanted them to. And now we're completely safe. We don't need to use any more bombs. Thank you, asteroid field. And we only need to win like 2 more fights to get our weapons up to 4, and then we'll have double flak. Unfortunately, we're running very, very low on fuel. Side of the future, we get a 4th Mantis here. Yes! So, we have a quad Mantis boarding team. That's very, very strong. How do we want to deal with the med bay? I think I'll use a bomb here. I could use distraction tactics, but these weapons are kind of dangerous. I'd like to just win quickly. So actually thinking on it, I might, if I don't use distraction tactics, I'll probably just, I don't need to use a bomb actually, because if I break one of the weapons, the other one isn't dangerous. So like, these are gonna get clunked, but who cares, my Mantis will smash this. They don't have a weapon that actually threatens me anymore. We're even going to send over more borders. You two go in there, you two go in there. They'll defend shields. There we go. I'd kind of like to swap to a clone bay, but it's not essential. At this point, my boarding team is strong enough that we can just win. Let's get that up. Cool. So, we've got double flax for the situations where we need to actually do ship-to-ship fighting. We got the small bomb, we got hacking, we're very, very good now. Oh no, how will we deal with 4 borders? The only problem is I don't have an easy place to assemble my Mantis Death Squad. I want them to all run in at the same moment. So the NGs will just block for a moment. No, I want all my Mantis to go in there. I know that you're eager, NG. You go in there, you can do that, and you're going to do a healing dance. Healing dance. It's worth getting hit with a solar flare here just to make sure. I wonder if my Mantis can actually put this fire out. The answer to that is apparently no. I should have just run the NGs in the whole time, but I was sure there's like, surely there's no way 3 Mantises can fail to put out 1 fire in a med bay. Truly pathetic. You get in there. Off to the exit. I think we might be able to only get 1 jump after this. I'm not even sure that we definitely want to do that. We definitely want to fight this slaver. I'm gonna hack weapons here. We might be able to just... We might have to put a defensive drone up, but we might be able to just kill them in there before we have to do that. And the hack on the doors effectively prevents them from getting to the med bay anyway, so I'm sort of hacking 2 systems at once here. Unlock the doors for a moment, I want them to all run in. I can also do this. Yep, we're fine. We didn't get any crew, but whatever. I can hardly complain about not getting drops in this sector. Yeah, we actually don't have any more jumps here, so we just have to go out. Well, that Mantis sector went really, really well, so we're going to just take another one. I don't much care for NG homeworld sectors. I'd really like a Mantis homeworld sector, so we can try to get Kazakh. Let's see. Let's get hacking up. Being able to do a level 2 hack will just buy us time for our borders to win things. These are the 2 Mantis that don't already have max combat skills, so I'll use them to win the fight. I think we'll just jump out now. Nope, another solar flare. Okay, they don't have hacking. The only thing I would be worried about leaving a beacon with people already in the med bay is what if they immediately hack it. But they don't have hacking. And ships that have hacking are pretty rare in Mantis sectors anyway, so... You two get in there. Let's just kill the Mantis who's on my ship and see whether or not we can knock their med bay off with the flak. Answer to that is yes. We're just bored with 3 crew here. Our other one is injured and I don't want to hang around. I don't know what that bomb is. And, we've got a solar flare going on. Okay, it's a stun bomb. That's not very dangerous at all. Especially not if you're stun bombing completely empty hull. Here, you go in there and then they'll come in and fight 3v2. Okay. NG's go and fight that. We've had a very stark demonstration of how Mantis are bad at that. Go and heal. This store's not in a good location, but we want to go there just to get some fuel. We can't really buy anything else. We could get another flak if we had the scrap, but we don't. We can't even get it. We could sell the small bomb and the defensive drone, but that is not worth it. The small bomb is too good as targeted damage. Now, another problem with this ship is that when you're fighting the flagship, it's a little bit slow. I mean, we have 2 very, very good weapons, so we will probably be okay. But because you can't get cloaking, when you get hacking anyway, you can take a lot of damage from the power surges. And without the ability to deal hull damage very quickly, you might end up taking like a lot of drone surges. So we'd like to get like a halberd beam for our 3rd weapon slot, just so that when we do need to go into ship killing mode, we can do that. Let's stay over here and kill this stupid fool. This won't take very long, and then our flaks can take out their Columbia. I won't bother healing you because there's only 2 crew over there. If I board into shields, they're just going to lose. We potentially could have taken like 1 point of damage there if their lasers had lined up. The odds were not high. Nice. Take the distress, that sees a lot. We have decent options for it. If you want to hack here, this is quite dangerous. I think we want a bomb instead of the flaks, because these have narrow rooms. Board you into there, get you guys over into shields. Hack all that crap down. Kill that guy. Bomb that down. Get in there, start smashing. Hopefully we can smash this missile without it ever getting to fire. Unfortunately we couldn't do that, so we're going to need to put a defensive drone on. That's an Artemis missile because it requires level 2. So let's bomb the med bay. Get wrecked, my friend. And we'll kill this rock. We had to use 2 bombs, but that's fine. We haven't really paid long term for that stupid fight where we had to use 7 because we got loads of flak afterwards. It would have been much, much trickier, obviously, had that not occurred. But we've had some fights where we've been able to just disable things with the flaks. Let's now do this. Next, we'd like to get our shields up. I don't normally like getting shields up this early, but on a ship where I know I can't get cloaking, it's worth it. I think we're going to lose some jumps here. Do we have enough? We've got 1 before this, we've got 2 before that. Okay, so we can go 1, 2, 3, and then over towards the exit. Attack the ship. These guys are not very dangerous. Go and eat this fool. And let's see if we can hit that med bay with our flax. Yes, we can. Prepare to be eaten. More scrap. Might keep a buffer of like 100 scrap just so that we can, you know, if we see anything good at a store, we can get it. You know, a halberd beam or a Zoltan shield bypass or anything like that. Aid the civilian ship. We'll try doing this with hacking because that takes out both their med bay and it removes the missile. We're going to let their 1 Mantis board me and send all 4 of our guys in there immediately. In fact, you go over there. Give me door control. Yeah, that's pretty good. Missile's down. See if we can snipe that with flak. Yes. Well, not quite, but... Come on in. More double rewards. To 135 scrap. Don't think we've seen us. Oh yeah, we have seen a store in this sector, haven't we? We saw it down there. So there might not be another one. Mantis sectors don't always even have 2 stores. This fight would be dangerous, except they have no shields. So we're just gonna hack their weapons. And an asteroid just removed all of their evade. So yeah. If our flaks don't finish the job, the asteroids will. Do we have 2 jumps? We might, but it's very close. And that joins to there anyway. We definitely have 3 before this exit. It's just I wasn't sure whether we actually could hit both of these. I mean, that's a very cheap Mantis, but we've got 4 of them already. I'd really just like a rock at this point to round my crew out. Give me more blue options. Useful extra border if we need it. I'm not sure we even need to hack here, because we might just kill these. There's only 2 of them. We might just kill them before they ever get to shoot at us. Especially since we might be able to knock it off with the flak. Yeah, our flak didn't even reach the ship completely. We just ate the enemy too fast. There, and then the exit. So actually, we don't lose any jumps. This is not worth doing. You can lose crew here, and considering... I mean, you can gain crew as well, but considering we have 7 already, let's just jettison the pod. If you have a clone bay, you can safely open that every time. Worth doing that. I mean, we're kind of using the small bomb, but on the other hand, we run quite low on fuel a few times in this run. Cool, we have a civilian sector to go to. Let's see if there's an immediate store. Hopefully there is. There is. Cool. We'll go there and then up through the nebula. I feel like this is a trap, probably. Our flaks are so fast that spending 120 scrap to make them fire immediately seems dubious to me. I'm gonna pass on the pre-igniter. I think it is a trap. It's very, very tempting. Pre-igniter always is when you have good weapons. But I don't think at this stage that that's what I think we'd rather do this. Get that up. Since we're gonna go through a nebula, I'm gonna get the piloting up for the blue option possibility. And, you know, we have 3 more jumps at least to make scrap before we might see anything else. Yeah, we just made 45 back, so we can buy a halberd beam if we see it. You 2 are in there. You get in there. What are you doing? I don't understand what my crew are doing sometimes. Go and heal. You too. A heavy laser 2 would also be a good 3rd slot weapon if we can't get a halberd beam. Okay, this ship's not too dangerous, but it is running away. Let's just hack to buy time here. We might end up using 2 drones, but whatever. That's a level 2 mind control. That's a little bit irritating. We need to delay that guy for a bit. First things first, we need to take this down. Yeah, that's a Hermes missile. That unfortunately increases the odds that we're gonna need to use a defensive drone because it's a Hermes missile. You can tell it's Hermes. This could be either a Hermes missile or a breach missile. It's a Hermes missile because it's charging faster than the burst 3. Can we take... Let's just bomb it. Oh, that's not actually good enough. That's a waste. I guess I should have counted. Waste of a bomb. Oh well. More auto scouts. We once again want to hack weapons here. We just want to split these weapons up. That's only level 1 mind control, good. Let them fire the ion blast and the heavy laser. And hack them down. There we go, we're completely safe now. We just need to make sure our mind-controlled crew don't destroy things. And this will help us do that. We can get some weapon XP from this fight. There's a little bit of danger they could completely ionize my shields and then bring a laser back up. But if necessary, we can, you know, hack and get time to recharge our shields and things like that. We can also do that. We still don't have much weapon training, because in a lot of our fights we're not even using our weapons. See another store. We would like to see another store because we want to keep fishing for good weapons. We keep fighting auto scouts. This fight, the defensive drone is the better use of a drone than the hack. See what our flak hits. I am worried obviously about the blind spot like there, but we're not as vulnerable to that as we were at the beginning of this run because we have NGs. I'm also worried about drones getting hit by these the laser and the ion. See about doing that. Can we take that cloaking out? No. I thought we had enough time, but I guess we'd run the NG out of the room, so I should have realized there wasn't going to be enough. Once they run out of missiles, this ship is literally unable to hurt me. But we seem to have no ability to actually hit that system over there. Gonna let them cloak here, and then we'll get 2 volleys in between the next cloak. That is a 15-second long cloak, so we'll need to hit it multiple times if we want to take it completely down. There we go. And now that the cloaking is down, we should be able to fire quite a few shots in a row before they can get any repairs on it. And even when they repair it, they'll only have a 5-second cloak instead of a 15-second cloak. They're out of missiles, so we're now completely safe. Switch our targeting back to the cloaking. That's now the only thing that matters is how long this battle goes on for. Maybe we can do it this turn. Nope. Too many dodges. It does give us more weapon training though, so I can't complain too much. You fool, your dodging only makes me stronger. A double reward, very nice. Get my engines up once. I'll probably go above the usual level of engines that I would do on a run because we're not going to ever have cloaking. So having higher dodge than just the 40% you need to add 60 from cloaking at 100% is quite useful. Also useful is this storm. I really wish we'd swap to the clone bay now. Oh well. We didn't. I could buy the combat drone, but that doesn't seem necessary. We've got more sectors yet. We can probably find... Having an offensive drone for Phase 3 will be quite useful, but I'd rather a beam drone. Like, with a beam drone, we could theoretically just board into shields on Phases 2 and 3, break the shields, and then the beam drone can kill, and our flax can kill. And even if we then don't have, like, a beam or a big heavy laser or something like that to rapidly do hull damage... They don't have a med bay, they do have a big missile. Don't know what crew they have over there because I can't see them right now. Oh no, I do need 3 shields here because they might sync up the heavy 2 and the mini beams. Okay, these do not seem like crew that will be particularly much of a challenge for my 4 Mantis B. Cool, we took out the only weapon I'm worried about. Oh. Being a bit careless there. Getting the distress beacon, if we do that, the odds of us finding a 3rd store are basically nil. I think we want to go here instead. Put a defensive drone up, it will block both the missile and the boarding drone. Take this down with the bomb rather than the flax, because the flax could accidentally hit my own crew. Yeah, it's not level 3, so the bomb is fine. Looks like we're not going to find one anyway, unless it's right there. How many jumps do we have? Do we have 2? Yes, I think. So I'm not sure that we do. I mean, we could dive here. And go 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4. We'd want to upgrade our engines, but we can afford to do that. I'm usually reticent to dive without piloting. Not without piloting. I'm very reticent to dive without piloting. There are no ships in this game without piloting because it would be impossible to jump to another beacon. I'm reticent to dive without cloaking. Normally, because the ASB could just hit in a bad place, like if it hits your piloting, it'll take it offline and you might get hit multiple times. This seems like a location where it might be worth doing. Let's see, do I get... No, I only get 3 jumps. I don't think it's worth it then. I can get 2, probably. I don't know, actually. This is very, very close. I'm going to just play conservatively and go to the exit. We got a pirate fight, but I have got to head off for just a moment. And we're back. So let's fight this pirate ship. They have burst 3, charge laser. We're not accepting the bribe. This is a possible double scrap reward. Do we want to hack the medbay directly here? Because we don't have any rooms we can fight in for V2. Let's hack the medbay directly in this particular situation. Go over to shields. Might as well fight these guys with numbers. You come on through. There we go, that's down. Sure thing, go on through. One of them actually in the med bay and I just didn't notice. Looks like it. Whatever. Oh cool, we got a store. Store doesn't have anything particularly useful in it. Guess we'll buy the beam drone. Yeah, we're gonna buy the beam drone. We did have enough time there, but you can see how close it was. Okay, we do get Mantis homeworlds. That is very, very good. We're going there. See if we can find Kazakh. We don't have long-range scanners, so we might not manage it. We want to upgrade our medbay right away. To do this quest, you either need a teleporter and a level 2 medbay, or you need a level 2 medbay and level 3 sensors. The latter option is almost never worth it. You generally do not want to waste your time getting level 3 sensors. We know that Kazakh is not a distress beacon, so we're not going there. Hack weapons are a little bit dangerous. Well, they dodged absolute loads of stuff there, so that was not a very good volley. Could we please maybe hit with anything? Well, they don't have level 3 piloting, so now we will be able to actually maybe land some of these shots. Yeah, that's much better. And we'll just auto-fire at the weapons. Let's auto-fire at engines. That way if they bring their piloting back up by, say, 1 point, we can maybe still have taken that system out instead. So one of the Mantises is still damaged. You go back in there. I'm not going to go to there. That's quite bad. But we'll go here and then up. Ooh, we got a full sector scan. Very, very good. So Kazakh is going to be at one of these beacons. It's either there or one of these empty. It's one of these ship fights that doesn't have any kind of hazard beacon. I can't really easily get to this fight without giving up loads of others, so my chances are best if I go sort of towards here. So sort of go here, 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 there, move along, hit all of these things, maybe the store as well. That seems like my best path through. We get another Mantis by doing this, but honestly, I'd rather potentially get a bounty. We didn't do it anyway, it was a trap. That's unfortunate, since that means it's the version of this ship that has Mantises on it instead of NG. By the way, this ship, being an NG bomber, it has NG medbot dispersal, so you need to be very careful about boarding into it. Let's try to get a hacking drone through this. This will be annoying. And we did not succeed. We did on the second attempt. Oh, our flak shots didn't hit there, but we did manage to take the medbay out. And since we have a hack on that room, let's drain that down so that we can recharge our shields. And then we're going to board in the medbay and completely crush this guy. And can we get 1 point of damage on there before they manage to break in? Yes, we did, so they can't hurt us right now. And we easily defeat them in the melee. But yeah, that's a very dangerous fight. I've seen people lose crew on that fight before by not realizing that they're jumping into NG medbot dispersal. And you know, like loads of Mantis that heal without even being in the medbay. That's quite brutal to try to fight. Got rebels here. Should I put the defensive drone up to try to stop that hack? Let's just do it. I don't know whether this will work, but... Okay, that's down, and we'll win the hand-to-hand combat. More resources used than I would have liked there, but whatever. Moving. So here's one chance at Kazakh, but 4 different beacons over here that could be. Hopefully the one that was Kazakh isn't the one that we skipped. Here, let's hack the weapons and fight in that room. You go to doors and vent these stupid things out. Actually, you keep them in there. You go to doors. And also run you in to buy us more time. Cool. And we've taken that missile out, so we're basically safe. Let them in now. They can't escape from the locked room. They can't break any of my systems because it vents too fast. Yeah, come on over. Do that. Don't know that I can hit all three of these and the store. I think on average I'd rather, you know, hit the store and slightly reduce my chance of finding Kazakh. Are you fucking kidding? There are no weapons here either. The explosive replicator would kind of be cute. So I'm tempted to keep the anti-drone for phase 2. I will do that at the moment because it doesn't. It's not like it sells for very much, so getting rid of it doesn't really get me anywhere. I'm banking enormous amounts of scrap anyway because I want to. If I see a good weapon, I want to be able to both get it and okay, good, we have found Kazakh. If we find a good weapon, I want to be able to upgrade enough to. But I want to be able to both get it and upgrade enough to use it. So Kazakh here gives a very, very, very good reward. So we're going to attempt to hail him. I don't think it actually matters whether you pick that or not. One of our Mantises steps forward, I'm not sure which one, and does a weird alien haka with Kazakh left click. And now they have multiple missiles. I don't like that. We're going to hack that nonsense down. Speaking of hacking down, let's go and kill this Mantis that's on our ship, and then we'll board them with our remaining ones in a moment. We won't even bother healing them up. Get into shields and we can use the weighted numbers against them. Oh, defensive drone goes up, I guess. We desync the missiles at least enough that the defensive drone should shoot down all of these missiles. And now we have the blue option because we have a teleporter to teleport in additional crew and detect and check for survivors. Since we have an advanced med bay, we can quickly teleport Kazakh back to it. So we've got Mantis pheromones, a bunch of scrap, double reward. And, actually no, it's not a double reward because that replaces a normal reward. But still, we get our Mantis pheromones back, we get Kazakh, who has max skills and everything. And it also gives a quest beacon, which always has a weapon drop, as well as giving a good amount of scrap. So, especially if you have a teleporter, and you go to a Mantis homeworld sector, you always want to get Kazakh. It's very, very little cost. You just have to upgrade the medical unit, which you may have already done. Since Kazakh has useful other skills, I'm going to stick him in shields. I can still run him into battle if I need to. I don't want to dive here. Well, I'm going to go to the exit first. I might dive 2 jumps after the exit. That's not really worth doing. Because I could go here and there. We'll do it. This ship isn't very dangerous. Can I stop them from escaping that room? Yes. Cool. I don't feel like we even need to hack here. This chain ion is the only the only thing that can get my shields down enough for the heavy laser 2 to do anything. And in order for that to happen, they would need to spin it up quite a bit. And they're not going to get a chance to do that. Come on in. I attempted to do that. Yeah, we're going to do that. Get max hacking. We still have 100 scrap for a store. Yeah, nothing there. I don't like that ship. Had I known this was going to be the dive ship we were going to fight, I probably wouldn't have bothered. Triple fucking triple missiles. There we go, we got all the missiles down. We can maybe get out of here before the ASB hits us. Yes, we can, cool. Energy controlled. Well, that gives us a few stores. Yeah, that was a pretty expensive dive. I mean, we probably would have got those engines upgrades anyway, but I might have preferred to get them later. We still only have weapons 5. We also definitely want to get shields 8 on this run, since we won't have cloaking. So there's our reward from Kazakh. Which has a guaranteed weapon draw. I think I'm going to go up here first, see this top corner, see stores. If we don't see anything, we go down to distress and we bounce around and see like every beacon in this sector until we spot stores. I suppose I should look at what crew they have over there while we're waiting. Wow, their crew are really unsuited for all the boarders that are going to be coming their way in a moment. Put a defensive drone up, let's try to small bomb their med bay and fail. Okay, that's down. Getting shields. Zoltan's going pop could be annoying, but... Oh wow, they had extra crew, so they actually fixed their med bay. Well, we made one of the Zoltans go pop in a room other than the one we were standing in, so it was fine. I guess I miscounted, I thought they had 4 crew, not 5. Nope, don't see a store. We have blue options here from our many NGs. We would go to that distress, but that doesn't see anything that we haven't seen already, so we'll go back north. Okay, we see a store. Please have some sort of weapon that's actually good. Or just any sort of weapon at all would be useful. This is like the 4th explosive replicator we've seen. I mean, I'm keeping the Mantis pheromones for now. I'm not getting anything really for selling. I mean, we might solve the problems with a good drop from Kazakh. Okay. So they have a strange bug, let's assist in debugging. Found malfunctioning Mantis, believes it is human, will receive input only from human. Danger evaluation extremely high, provide assistance. Let's send our Mantis to communicate with this person. They're terrified at the sight of your crew member, he immediately attacks. Your crew member is forced to kill him. Well, goodbye, Mr. Smith. Can we get both of these stores and the quest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have 3 jumps before this store? Yes, we do, as long as we don't get increased fleet pursuit. Although we kind of would like to hit the quest first, because if the weapon drop isn't very good, we'd like to be able to sell it. But on the other hand, I really want to have multiple choices to get a good weapon. So we're doing this. Okay, are we just going... We're just going triple flak then. We're keeping the small bomb because that will be useful in phase 1 when we want to actually board. But yeah, we can auto-fire this in the later in the phases after phase 1 when we've killed all the crew. We can board into the missile artillery and knock that offline and just auto-fire flak at shields, put a beam drone up, and win that way. Should we sell the anti-drone at this point? Am I going to really use that in phase 2? I might. I don't think that 17 scrap is going to stop me from getting I don't think that 17 scrap is going to stop me from getting the next level of shield, so I think it's worth doing that. We also don't really need to go to that other store now, unless the quest gives us a weapon we want to sell, and actually I think we're too late for that, so... no, let's attack this ship. I want the possible double scrap reward. Hack weapons. That, get over the doors. Although we might be able to stop them boarding altogether. I think we maybe have done. Kill these fools. Oh, they have an extra person, but... Oh, we got a pike beam. Let's destroy the ship and salvage it, just get more scrap. I suppose the delay could have been useful there to allow us to get the delay might have been useful to allow us to go quest first and then go to the store, but whatever. You could theoretically use the beam instead of the third flak, but I don't think that it's worth doing that. We don't need repairs. We're about to get a bunch of repairs for free anyway. Do we want to go to the store? We can sell the pike beam. Is it going to be a dive if we go to the store? It is. Admittedly, we don't mind too much, but I don't really like diving in NG sectors because they often have stuff that's... Okay, I wish we could get to a store to sell that, so we'll look out for one in Sector 8 just in case. This is one of the reasons I really hate going to NG, although this wasn't an event that comes about from being in an NG sector, so it wouldn't have mattered what one we were in. But I hate going to NG sectors in Sector 8, in Sector 7 specifically, because you'll often get drops and then find, oh, it's after the last store. We can't actually, we can't ever unload this stuff. But that charge iron was a result of a drop that came from a Mantis sector, so... Go to the exit, and then we'll decide whether or not we want to dive past. No, we are about to get a bunch of fuel anyway. We'd really like to get our teleporter up all the way as well for Phase 1, because it makes killing the flagship much, much easier. Is that a compelling enough reason to basically take a double dive here? We'll take at least a single dive. Looks like we found something here, so that's good. Hack their weapons. Let them board us, because Zach will eat the border. Especially since they're boarding us and going seemingly into the med bay. Let's just delay them there for just a moment. Yeah, there we go. Go back in weapons, crush them in there. And there's no way they're getting that Vulcan up before we will either smash it like that or just kill all the crew over there. Teleporter up. Yeah, distress is pretty much guaranteed scrap. Well, no, it isn't really. It has a high degree of possibility of scrap, though. We'll do it. We're gonna get repaired when we go into the next station anyway. So even if we get tagged by a bunch of ASB, it'll be fine. Yeah, see, we get a fight from this. Let them all in. Ooh, get wrecked. You can get NG Medbot dispersal here if you give them the 40 scrap, 2 missiles, and 2 fuel. Or is it? I mean, it's not really worth getting NG Medbot dispersal regardless. I can't remember which of these two options gets it. Poorly equipped NG vessel. NG attacked by rebel. Yeah, you need to do the big reward to get NG Medbot dispersal. It's not worth it. I don't know whether NG Medbot dispersal works when you're on another ship, to be completely honest. And I don't think it's worth it regardless. We are 1 scrap short of being able to upgrade our teleporter, but that's fine. We'll be able to make that in the next sector. We'd like to hit a few repair stations. We want to upgrade our oxygen. We'd like to max the reactor out. We don't care about things like doors because their crew are going to be all dead after phase 1. We wouldn't mind damage buffering our weapons once more, since we can't cloak missile surges, and we want to have all 3 flaks for the final phase, and the final 2 phases. Anyway, dive number 1. Attack weapons. This might end up being a double drone fight, so we might need to put up a defensive drone. But maybe not. Get you to the med bay just in the off chance that like the ASB hits the room you're in, because it does 45 damage. I have not only lost crew that way, I've actually lost a run that way on NGB, and had it kill my only crew member by the ASB taking out their hit points. You get indoors, because we're going to jump into another beacon in a moment. Yeah, we did manage to escape. Level 6 engines is usually, but not quite always, enough that you can escape from a rebel-held beacon. But, I mean, it can be slowed down by things like what's happening here, where we have a border in our engines room. We'll hack weapons again here. We don't need to deal with borders, though, so that's good. Let them fire that and then hack. You have slightly under 45 hit points. That's not acceptable. And we're out, so no ASB taken for that double dive. And no damage taken. We did have to use a couple of drones, but I think it was worth it to get the scrap. We'd really like a Sector 8 store to sell all this crud that we've got. But it's not absolutely urgent. Which one of you is fish? Your fish. Go to this repair station. It gives us enough to do that. Like the rebel ship, we will crush these people. One good thing about being a boarding ship in Sector 8 is that there's an annoying event that happens where it says, oh, there's not enough time to loot the rebel ship properly. And that doesn't happen when you're playing a boarding ship, because you don't get it with crew kills. So you'll actually get a proper amount of scrap from these fights. Let's send you guys in. I need to move Kazakh up there, but whatever. weapons are all down. Get back in there to fight in a locked room. Kazak is kicking ass. He was fighting 2 against 1 there and only has an NG to help him out, but Kazak is too strong. You need help fixing that. Let me give you a hand. There we go. Oh yeah, we still have 2 crew over there. Repair and then down towards the base. That gives us more bombs and more drones, which are both very welcome. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to find another store unless it's like the jump south of here. Like the rebel ship, obviously. We're going to actually hack shields here instead of weapons because we want to fight in a 4-tile room so we can win quickly. There's only 4 crew on this ship. So if we just kill them, the fight's done. I saw that ion intruder drone. I'm putting a defensive drone up. We don't actually need a level 3 hack for this, we just need to lock the doors. The strength of the lock on the doors is not affected at all by how strong your hacking is. It kind of feels like maybe it should be, but... Double reward, cool. Actually get this up all the way, and that up all the way, and I guess that too. If we get any other scrap, it goes into engines, although I'm not sure we'll get enough to get even 1 more level. Depends whether we get any scrap at the next jump, or between flagship phases. Okay, what am I talking about? Any other scrap that we get is going into damage buffering the weapons. We'll put a defensive drone up here. We'll once again hack shields. These guys again have an ion intruder drone. We'll actually use the hack this time. Doors are broken here, but we'll bomb that room. Stop them fixing. And we win! We don't have quite enough to upgrade the weapons here, but in Phase 1 we'll have lower weapons because we're going to use the small bomb. And then in all other phases we'll be using triple flak. And we'll get enough from Phase 1 that we'll be able to get the weapon buffer upgrade. We basically won't really be using our flags too much in Phase 1, at least until it comes time to actually kill the flagship, because we're going to do a level 3 hack on the missile artillery to buy us loads of time. We'll board the side rooms. We're probably going to take damage doing this because we don't have, we don't have cloaking. But we will kill their crew off, and then we will fight them once we've taken the missile down completely. We'll fight them in that room, kill crew off. We need to be a little bit more careful than I'm used to doing this because we don't have a clone bay. So if we lose anyone, we lose them permanently. But it's not that bad. What are you gonna hack? Weapons is not ideal, but we can deal with it. We won't be using our weapons all that much here anyway. And we don't actually want to board. We're quite happy to just board 2 people at a time here, because we're boarding into these side rooms anyway. If you try to board this with 4, it'll kick 2 of them out somewhere else. And we don't want that. You know, they're completely safe in these rooms. Ooh, they dodged. We're gonna take some missiles here. I'd jump out, but then we'd have to leave our crew behind, and that's really not what we want to do. Get you back here. Go and heal quickly. Normally I'd want to board in here while that is broken, but I think I'm going to just board in there before I've broken it, because I can either break it with the Mantises in between when there's no crew in there. I can drop bombs and run them in and out of the room because I have control of the doors. There's quite a few ways that we can deal with it. There is some danger here because the flaks could hit the Mantises, but they didn't, and indeed they killed that guy. Bring these guys back. This buys me time. Even if we lose 2 Mantises in this phase, I don't mind that much. I would obviously prefer not to lose any crew at all. We don't need 4 shields right now. My next move will be to warp these guys back rather than to warp more people over, because I do want to avoid losing them if I possibly can. The doors are locked there anyway, and the system is completely smashed, so... I maybe hit shields. Oh, I can't. Cool. Ah, I hit your shield even through the cloak. Farewell, brave defensive drone. Are they gonna get this fixed? No. They are not. How many more crew do they have over there? 1, 2, 3... They only have 4 left in the main cabin. Should I warp these guys back to heal? Because one way I could do this now would be warp these guys back to in here, heal them up, board 4 into shields, or smash the med bay and board 4 into the med bay. Let's see if we can take that out. We didn't. I am still going to warp these guys back. Even if they manage to fix this, I can drop more bombs in there. I have a hack. It's not that important. If I board 4 into shields here, they'll actually give up trying to fix that because they value protecting shields very highly. So let's just do this and see if I can break the med bay. We did, cool. Let's bomb doors. Okay, you don't have door control anymore. Ah, you fucking assholes. The weapon hack here is being quite annoying. It's preventing us from keeping systems down. See about fighting them in here. We're losing, but we can just do that. Ooh, get wrecked. So, we've killed all the crew, we haven't lost anyone. Our mantises will now completely smash shields. Break those. I'll just let them get the thing down completely. Guess what? We don't need our damn weapons. Beam drone. Commence beaming. So we took 1 damage, but we have killed the entirety of their crew. We're also going to do this. Get a buffer upgrade. We don't need the small bomb anymore. Let's do this. Do we want to use anti-drone here? We could use anti-drone instead of beam drone. Like, we want defensive drone to stop missiles and to stop the boarding drone. This is probably worth it, because like, I can kill this phase by just repeatedly dumping flak into shields. So I'm going to board 4 people immediately. 2 of them will smash missiles. 2 of them will start on shields. Yeah, we can do that. Let's wait for the backup battery to run out here. If you hit wait a bunch of times very quickly, you can accidentally screw yourself over because it will, you can screw yourself over because it will sync, the level of charge on the backup battery will be the same as it was from like the last fight that you were in at the same beacon. So you can go into phase 2 and have it immediately switch off. Let's go here since we have time. This ship's a little annoying, but it's not that bad. Should we just hack shields? Yeah, hack shields. I could use an anti-drone here against this thing, but I don't think that it's necessary. Yeah, their weapons are down completely now. Good thing too, because they blew my defensive drone up. Hack those shields down, don't let them get back up. We probably should have held back, but whatever. Why'd you have to bring that up? Of all the weapons, they had to bring the one up that might require me to use another drone. Yep. Stupid assholes. We got it back anyway. We could go this way, but I feel like that takes us too far away from the base. Let's not do that. We can get the next level of engines for the final phase. So, let's get level 3 into that. Forward into there. Do we want to hack shields or missile? So let's just hack shields. We just want to win this fight quickly. Run you two out of there quickly. Okay, cool. Shields are completely smashed, actually. Did they break it? Yeah, they broke it in time. Cool. Hey, you guys get back over here, and then we can just blow them up. Oh, that's not bad. No damage in phase 2. We will take damage here in phase 3 because there's nothing at all we can do about the fact that they're going to get a bunch of missile surges off before we can actually eventually hit their missile artillery. Let's do this. We don't need to power these systems right at the beginning of the battle because we can't teleport or hack until the Zolt shield is down. I wish we had like 25 more scrap so I could power the beam drone and the defensive drone, but I guess there's limits on how much scrap you make, even in a run that's fairly strong like this has been. Let's chase after them in case we want to flee, although that's not... Actually, why would we want to do that? I don't know what I'm talking about. We've already killed all their crew. You've mind-controlled my engines, guy. That's annoying. Just run this person through the room. Oh yeah, why am I not powering my beam drum? It's one of the reasons I got this stupid thing. I got a fire there. I'm just gonna vent that part of the ship. Doesn't mean venting the med bay, which is not ideal, but whatever. Get ready to board. Yeah, they got a couple missiles through, but it's nothing particularly serious. And now we want to get a level 3 hack over onto shields. We want to board. I don't know why we've only boarded with 3 people, but whatever, it'll do. We just took a couple of shield bubbles down anyway. In fact, you just get into there, then we'll take this out with flak. Yeah, take some hits. It's very, very difficult to do this with 0 damage because you just don't have cloaking. And if you have cloaking, you don't have hacking. The missiles are going to go down. Screw it, let's just warp these guys back. The beam drone will win this for us. Cut it out. So, that's Mantis B1. Apart from, like, we had that one very, very irritating battle early on that if we had done if we had played that battle in the solar flare incorrectly, we would have died. Because, you know, like, if we had boarded immediately, we couldn't have fought all their people off, and the first solar flare went off in our oxygen, we would have just died if that had happened. It was very, very annoying. We took a lot of damage, but the NG that we got dropped there just started the ball rolling. Of course, the ridiculous Mantis 3 sector where we got multiple flaks in a row, just that had us well and truly on our way. 5,700, that's not as high a score as I thought we were going to get here. Felt like we had a lot of scrap, but I guess maybe we didn't have many ship fights or beacons. Yeah, the beacons explored count is actually quite low, and so is the ships defeated. It's quite rare for me to have a run where the beacons explored is below 100, but I suppose when I don't have cloaking, I'm generally more reluctant to dive, and that does shave a couple of beacons off every run. And I think the exits weren't in terribly good locations either. Still, we won. It was very comfortable. Our ship was very heavily upgraded. And we've got Mantis B out of the way. Let's find out what the 5th ship is going to be. 3, 2, 1. Okay, NGC is a ridiculously strong ship, so we should be fine. We will get to that next time though, so I hope that you enjoyed the video, and see you in run number 5. Bye for now.